it the happiest place on earth? But on June 4th, those Magic Kingdom gates swung open on something no fairy tale scriptwriter could have dreamed up. One minute, Prince Harry and Meghan are smiling beneath pastel balloons for little Lilibet's birthday. The next, every lens in California is locked on them, and the private royals look more staged than a Hollywood backlot. How did a family day out become the clearest proof yet that their quest for privacy might be the greatest publicity stunt of all? Stick around, because Disneyland just exposed the crack in their carefully curated kingdom, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. June 4th had all the makings of a storybook scene. Bright California sky, confetti-colored balloons, and 4-year-old Princess Lilibet gripping her very first pair of sequined mini ears. By late afternoon, Prince Harry was pushing a stroller down Main Street, and Meghan was laughing beneath the shadow of Sleeping Beauty Castle, just two parents soaking in the magic on their daughter's birthday. Or so the images suggested. 2 days later, Meghan's Instagram lit up. A slick 45-second montage scored to "It's a Good Day." Quick-cut snippets showed Archie piloting the Dumbo ride, Lily curtsying to Cinderella, and a sun-flared family hug near the partner's statue. Every frame glowed, every smile was centered, and every child's face was blurred behind a pastel sticker. The caption gushed thanks to Disneyland for 2 days of pure joy, but viewers couldn't miss the contradiction. The most photographed theme park on Earth is the last place a privacy-minded couple would wander unshielded. On-site guests later recalled a small entourage hovering just beyond the stroller, while freelance paparazzi, normally scattered, seemed to materialize right where the family paused for photos. It felt less like a spontaneous birthday sprint than a read-through of a branded highlight reel. Same angles, same golden hour lighting, same perfectly timed giggles. Even loyal followers quietly admitted the afternoon looked more curated than candid. Yet the most telling detail was the blur itself. Those soft pink stickers were meant to shield the children, but they ended up spotlighting a much sharper question. If privacy is priceless, why stage a blockbuster family outing in a place that's basically a live stream with cotton candy stands? The answer, and the backlash, was about to hit harder than any drop on Space Mountain. Privacy has been the Sussex rally cry for years. Harry hauled 3 different tabloid groups into court, winning apologies and hefty damages for phone hacking and serious intrusion. Yet on Lilibet's birthday, he strolled the most photographed boulevard on Earth, Main Street, USA. Like a man who'd never uttered the word invasion, the cameras swarmed on cue. Meghan's own reel hit Instagram 48 hours later. Archways of balloons, a Dumbo ride flyby, a sun flare hug under the partner's statue. Every frame gleamed. Every child's face was smeared by a pastel sticker. The blur was meant to whisper, "protective parent." Instead, it shouted controlled release. Critics pounced on the mismatch. How can a couple sue over snapshots 1 month, then march into a theme park camera trap the next? Disneyland is a roaming live stream. You don't wander there if you're dodging lenses, you wander because you want them. The result felt choreographed. Golden hour lighting, perfect sightlines. Paparazzi somehow posted at every pause point. It was the same playbook royal watchers have clocked for years, only this time the pages showed. And the moment the reel dropped, one sharp-tongued broadcaster loaded a tweet that would blow the whole privacy shield to bits. The pastel stickers did more damage than any tabloid telephoto. Within hours of Meghan's reel going live, the internet smelled a setup and lit the fuse. Talk show provocateur Piers jabbed first, posting a side-by-side of the blurred out birthday shot with the caption, "Celebs who flaunt their kids for clout, then blackbar their faces like CIA files, we see you." The tweet rocketed past 1 million views by breakfast and became the day's top trending quote tweet target. Mainstream outlets scrambled to reframe the fairy tale narrative. People kept its headline sugary. Pure joy. Harry and Meghan share Disney photos. But comment sections turned acidic in minutes. Across the divide, Geo.tv and Radar Online dropped the niceties altogether, branding the outing Hypocrisy 101 and a cynical PR plan. Hashtags like Kardashian Core and Warrior Privacy trended as users stitched memes comparing the Sussex stroll to reality TV photo drops. Even longtime supporters admitted the timing felt too tidy, podcast numbers shrinking, lifestyle brand stalling, then presto, a golden hour Disney montage. The backlash wasn't just loud, it was bored, the deadliest sentiment of all. And while comment threads burned, Buckingham Palace watched the flames crawl dangerously close to trooping the color, fuel for a royal retaliation that had been simmering for months. Trooping the color, King Charles's annual birthday parade set for 14th June 2025, is normally the Crown's undisputed spotlight. This year, though, the fanfare was upstaged 10 days early by a sun-soaked Instagram reel from Disneyland. Even, lifestyle sites noted the timing, calling it a little too conveniently close to the parade and hinting that the Sussex montage risked overshadowing the event. Inside Buckingham Palace, aides were anything but amused. Multiple briefings described the king as deeply embarrassed by the theme park optics, grumbling that the stunt pulled focus from a ceremony he has slimmed down and reshaped after last year's health scares. Some courtiers even muttered that the outing felt like a deliberate spoiler dropped on the monarchy's biggest public rehearsal of unity. The anger sharpened around Lilibet's name. Using the late queen's childhood nickname in a glossy Disney reel revived a 4-year-old wound. Harry had once threatened legal action when the BBC reported he hadn't asked Elizabeth's permission to use it. Now, the same name was back as a branding hook, and senior royals saw it as trading on the Queen's memory while trashing the institution she led. Across the aisle, Prince William's patience finally snapped. A leaked succession blueprint shows he's considering stripping the Sussexes of their remaining HRH styles once he ascends, calling the Disneyland drop the last straw, in a pattern of commercialized royal clout chasing. Even insiders, who doubt an immediate title strike, admit the idea is no longer tabloid fantasy, but a live option on the heir's desk. With Trooping Now, a collision course of family pride and PR skirmish, the stakes have shifted. What began as a birthday jaunt could end with the most dramatic royal rebranding since the abdication. This time fought on Instagram, not in Parliament. The Disneyland montage was supposed to sprinkle a little pixie dust on Meghan's business ventures, but when the turnstiles stopped spinning, the numbers told a grimmer tale. Her much-hyped lifestyle empire, once teased as American Riviera, Orchard quietly slipped into rebrand mode after a single year of limbo. By 18th February 2025, the Duchess resurfaced with a slick Instagram video announcing, as ever, a softer, wellness-first refresh that traded Tuscan-style jam jars for minimalist, cream palettes, and handwritten affirmations. Fashion glossies covered the pivot with polite curiosity, but even Elle noted the relaunch felt like a second debut, forced by underwhelming engagement. A month later, Page 6 clocked the rebrand's first product shot, Meghan in a flax linen apron, gently placing a rose print cake beside a beaming Lilibet, again with the now iconic blur sticker. Commenters, perhaps still scorched from the Disney reel, weren't biting. One top reply read, "If the jam's as pricey as the privacy, campaign I'll pass." On the audio front, Confessions of a Female Founder arrived 8 April 2025, flanked by upbeat press from Lemonada Media. The premise was solid, Meghan mining tips from self-made businesswomen, but the execution stalled. Apple's landing page shows barely 1,000 written reviews after 8 weeks, a far cry from Archetype's launch burst. Independent podcast trackers peg average downloads at under 150K per episode. Respectable for a newcomer, but a steep drop from the millions Spotify once banked on. Industry insiders whisper that the brand plus podcast combo was meant as a synergy. Loop, hype the show, sell the jam, repeat. Instead, each piece is dragging the other down, a jam jar with no lid and a mic with no reverb. That vacuum set the stage for the Disneyland drop. In PR terms, there's no quicker way to spike analytics than a family-first photo set, especially one tied to a child who carries the late Queen's pet name. The plan might have worked in 2021. In 2025, it backfired, triggering critics to ask whether the Sussex strategy is less about commerce and more about click economics. When the merch stalls, roll out a memory of their royal past. But behind Palace walls, the view of that tactic is uglier than any balance sheet red ink, and the heir to the throne is sharpening some very real scissors. For years, royal aides have floated the idea of stripping Harry and Meghan of their HRH styles, only to shelve it in the name of family unity. The Disneyland debacle shoved the file back on the desk. According to a leaked royal succession blueprint, Prince William's inner circle is modeling scenarios where the Sussexes are formally reclassified as private citizens upon Charles's passing, a move that would erase the Royal Highness prefix and gut the couple's marketable mystique in one stroke. GOTV, and Radar Online. Both report that William sees title removal not as revenge, but as brand containment, ensuring royal iconography isn't repackaged for personal gain. Legally, the crown can't yank the dukedom without parliament, but HRH styles fall under royal prerogative. Courtiers say the palace law team has already drafted language patterned on the letters patent used when Edward VIII became the Duke of Windsor: polite, precise, and final. Rumor holds that senior MPs sympathetic to the monarchy are preparing a symbolic motion supporting the change, partly to deter future ex-royals from monetizing their status. Across the Atlantic, another legal beat builds. Piers Morgan, whose tweet detonated the Disney illusion, now hosts Britain's highest-rated evening talk show. Sussex lawyers have allegedly sent notice to cease and desist defamatory insinuations, citing Morgan's claim that the trip was a staged photo op, exploiting minors. Morgan's camp says it hasn't received formal service, and in on-air monologue dared the couple to bring it. The standoff feeds daily headlines and funnels viewers to his segments, creating a perverse incentive. The more the Sussexes threaten, the bigger the megaphone grows. Meanwhile, Netflix is quietly crunching numbers. The original 5-year pact that stunned Hollywood in 2020 matures next September. Renewal talks are underway, but sources tell Harper's Bazaar the new deal will be far leaner and more performance-based. Streaming executives love data, and the data shows that each Sussex project since their 2022 docuseries has debuted softer, with Meghan-branded programming posting the steepest declines. If HRH styles vanish and lawsuits multiply, Netflix risks a partnership built on evaporating royal allure. Hollywood accountants call that platform risk. Royal courtiers call it justice. And consumers, they're already registering their verdict in cold, unforgiving percentages. Look past the Twitter volleys and you'll find the numbers. Hard, longitudinal, and unmistakable. YouGov's May 2025 favorability tracker places Harry at 28% positive in Britain, his lowest since polling began. Meghan registers just 20%, capping an 8-year skid from starlet to skeptic magnet. The slide isn't a dip. It's a glacier, inching down month after month as every PR swing seems to miss. Sentiment analysis of social chatter tells a similar story. In the week after the Disney reel, negative keywords tied to hypocrisy, publicity, and exploitation spiked 60%, dwarfing the buoyant terms that once dominated Sussex discourse in 2018. Even their most devoted Reddit fan sub postponed regular positivity posts, citing community fatigue. On TikTok, side-by-side edits of Harry's privacy lawsuits and the Disneyland footage racked up millions of ironic likes, while dumber privacy memes stitched the blurred face stickers onto everything from The Simpsons to Succession. The emotional temperature has shifted from sympathy to something colder: detachment. The audience no longer gasps or bristles, they scroll. And for public figures built on confessionals and docuseries, indifference is the real reputational cliff. Yet indifference doesn't stay static. It flips to scorn when provoked. With Trooping the Color looming, the palace fears a chorus of boo-birds should the Sussexes attempt a surprise appearance. Conversely, if the pair remain in California, tabloids will run "snubbed again" banners. Either way, the narrative locks them into a lose-lose loop, a PR Mobius strip curling in on itself. Even without titles, the Sussexes retain a single priceless commodity: first-person access to the world's most photographed dynasty. Netflix knows it, book publishers know it, and the couple's nearly 10 million combined Instagram followers know it. The remaining question is whether that commodity holds value if the crown formally cuts its ribbon. If title removal lands, expect a pivot from royal retrospectives to personality content. Wellness videos, entrepreneurial diaries, perhaps a TED Talk-style miniseries on resilience. Sources at Lemonada Media hint that Confessions could morph into a longer narrative arc, following Meghan's real-time hurdles building as ever, hoping to turn business failures into redemption fuel. Yet the market for redemption arcs shrinks when the public concludes the hero is the architect of their own peril. On the stripped-down side, there's talk of Harry deepening his Invictus work and rebranding as a veteran-centric storyteller. A lane that still earns goodwill even among critics. But to reclaim relevance, those stories must feel earned, not engineered. One mistimed lens flare could shut the door for good. For the palace, the calculus is simpler: distance from volatility. If HRH styles vanish and royal invitations end, the firm can refocus on slimmed-down monarchy optics while shielding the late Queen's nickname from further hashtag cycles. The King's aides whisper that Charles, still processing a year of health scares and constitutional heavy lifting, needs calm more than confrontation. And for viewers, they face a cultural cliffhanger. Do they care to watch Act 3 if Act 2 left them exhausted? The answer may hinge not on photo ops or legal briefs, but on something the Disneyland reel conspicuously lacked: sincerity that doesn't demand a camera. A 4-year-old's birthday jaunt was never supposed to rock the royal boat, topple a podcast, or revive Parliament's title-stripping debates. Yet here we are, sifting through pastel blurs and paparazzi angles for meaning. Disneyland promised fantasy, but delivered a mirror. And in that reflection, the Sussex narrative looks less like a quest for sanctuary and more like a carousel that won't stop spinning. The question now is whether the couple will step off before the music ends or ride the loop until even the spotlight blinks out. Because in 2025, the happiest place on earth just revealed that happily ever after isn't guaranteed. It's negotiated, leveraged, and sometimes lost in real time.